I'm working for Logica as project lead and architect. I've been the lead for Java User Group Chennai. I'm part of JCP. I'm an individual member, and I contributed to some JavaFX projects and some Scala projects, and been working on some JSRs as well. So today we are going to see a topic of rich internet application. Um, we are going to talk about JavaFX. We will see what is the past and what is the current status of JavaFX, and we will see different tools and everything about the JavaFX. What do you think about this topic? Web and desktop. Because whenever I go and say that there is a tool called JavaFX, it is doing desktop applications, suddenly people come and say that web is already there, then why I need to directly move to desktop applications? How many people here worked on desktop applications? Swing? Applets?
Yes.
You like Swing?
It's not that, it's a business choice.
Yeah, business choice. But do you like, if a project is given to you, say tomorrow we are going to start a Swing project.
Swing is a little bit slower, so there are other better options.
Yeah. The thing
boilerplate code you write.
and tightly coupled.
Yes.
Whenever you hear, if I say that our project is going to use JTree and JTable, I will run off. Come on, I can't work on this. I need to write this, I need to see this. Yeah?
Bindings.
Yeah, and also the thing is, once a web came into the existence and suddenly the desktop application started moving out. Other than your Outlook, other than your Word, Excel, PowerPoint, there is no web applications. I mean, no desktop applications. Whatever the client today, when a project starts, will go for a browser-based one. I will directly take a browser-based one because I'm very much every day and whenever I'm sitting before a computer, I will open a browser and everything comes on the browser. I'm okay with it. Yeah, this is what the whole environment happened today now. The reasons why the desktop is not coming up because I need to install in each and every machines. I need to give it a CD and I need to develop it. I need to install in each and every thing. Tomorrow I'm going to give another version. I need to give a CD and I need to install in each and every machine. Yeah, and we don't have the environment when internet didn't come into the picture. We are talking about database will be here, database will be there. I will work on here and from here I will take it. When internet came into the action, what happened? My front end, everything will be there. I will just call a browser, everything comes into the picture. When any update I am going to do in the future, I will put it there. Nothing will be there for you. You can just open it in your browser and you can enjoy it. Yeah. So we started feeling that web is better than a desktop application. So everyone started shifting towards web. And is web is really good? Today, whatever the web is demanding, HTML5 coming into the picture and saying that we are going to have client-side storage, we are going to talk about highly, if some of the presentation for HTML and HTML5, they compare that HTML5 face will be like square and HTML CSS, whatever you design a face will be a box. And what about HTML5 and CSS3? Face will be the exact face, right? That is what they are used to compare with HTML and HTML5, where it gives you a lot of features of bringing the images and all the features coming into the picture. So the demand of this web today is asking same questions of what a desktop application is needed. If you are installing a desktop application into a place, you are not bothered about storage, right? I can directly use the existing application which I directly install in my system. But what happens today in HTML5? We are talking about in HTML5 you will directly get the storage of your desktop itself. You are again thinking back of the desktop features only. But what is the problem in desktop application again is we don't have any good UIs. Whenever we talk about desktop applications, we talk about forms. Only forms. We are not talking, but if you see in web applications, you can use many things with CSS, JavaScripts and everything. So again we are, thank you. Again we are seeing that the desktop applications is not giving me the full power of what a web application is giving to me. But what happened? The same time when Flash came into the picture, how many people used Flash? I need to play with Flash something on it. I need to do images moving like this and doing something like that. Everybody like it, right? Even though whoever it is, everybody start liking those features. Even those time JavaScript don't do like that. After that DHTML came into the picture, then you will do all the things. But still, browser dependent, browser snuffing and everything we are talking about that needed. We don't have one particular platform which can give it everything. So the RIA application, what it did is, you need to just download a small plugin or something, add it into your system, and that's all. The magic will be directly given to you. So what is there in Java now? We are talking about, whenever we are talking about a desktop application in Java, we say no, I don't want it. There are some other platforms where a Swing application can be written as a XML. So you will render all the thing into you will write the program of the Swing tools into XML, and it will be rendered automatically as a Swing. So whatever we are talking about, the boilerplate codes will not, everything will be removed, and you will do only XML part of it, and you will write a controller for it, and it will be done for you. There is something called yes. So actually that is also not survived. That is also not a thing. So we need something called rich internet applications. We need the power of desktop applications. We need a power of web application and a powerful communication between whatever we are talking about. What is there today in Java? Nothing. A Swing application can't do it. An applet is already a failed one. So what happened is, in Java, they have started something called JavaFX. Did anybody started using JavaFX? Heard about it?
Yes.
Okay. So what JavaFX is going to do for you? It came around 2005. It had been launched in that time and said that it is having a lot of things. Talking about if you open an application, it will work as an standalone application. The same application can be added as an applet. It is possible in Swing also, right? In applet also we can do it. Applet can work as a standalone and it can work as a thing. What is the magic? Another thing is, you can directly tear off your applet from your browser, close the browser. You can use it for temporary. Automatically it will be added into your runtime by using JNLP. These thing we already had. Okay, the Swing application can be directly installed into your system through a JNLP. But it's not powerful because still we feel that the Swing applications are all heavyweight and everything. So what Java did is, they started a new platform called JavaFX. It came with new features. One of the main features what we talk about is, let's remove the Java language out. Okay, Java language is fully full logical. I mean, I don't need that particular language for writing applications for a front end. A desktop application, I need that much of complicated inheritance, polymorphism and all the things. So what they did is, they came up with a small scripting language. They call it as JavaFX script, and which They didn't even thought about the XML also, because those times when you are talking about Silverlight and other things, they are using XML. So they removed that one and they came up with a separate scripting language. And what happened was, after it had another thing also, a cross-platform as well as a cross-device as well. You can port your JavaFX application directly into mobiles, and even also you can run it on the TV as well. Yeah, but after, let us see what are all the real-time applications have been used in the time of JavaFX 1. This is one of the application, which is an online application written completely in JavaFX 1.0. These are all real-time applications. Another very, I like the interfaces and everything, is the Load UI. Anybody tried Load UI?
Comes with SOAP UI.
Yes, exactly. They created separately on this one. This interface is nothing but written in completely JavaFX 1.0. Another, my very favorite, is this. This one is came as an applet. You need to go to the site. Now it is not there. The first one, the right side, if you see it, it is the first view. On the top, you will have the years. If you click on the years, automatically the word will directly pop up in that particular year, which country have participated in the Olympic. After that, if you click on that country, automatically the second one in your mind left, it opens into it, and if you click on it again, it drills down a lot and everything, done it only in JavaFX. So, after Oracle acquired Sun, many things have changed, and people see that Oracle is killing the JavaFX, because even I felt the same. Because the first thing they said is, we are going to remove JavaFX script out. There is no more JavaFX script will be there. It will be directly moved to a Java API. And there are a lot of other changes which come. After that, there was a very good improvement. You can see it in JavaFX. We can see that one by one. So, before we go into JavaFX, how to write it and how it looks like, we need to start talking about something called scene graph. So JavaFX is designed in such a way that it looks like a graph. Okay, it starts from, there is no JFrame, there is no frame, there is no window, nothing. We call it as stage, and stage is the guy who understands where it is going to run. So it will understand what it is, where I am running, whether I am running on a desktop, I am running inside a browser, or I am running on any mobile or something. It understands it. You don't need to go worry about anything. So after that, it comes into a scene, because it is a stage, so you need to have a scene. So you will have a scene, and after that, whatever you are creating inside are nothing but the nodes. So it will be like a hierarchical representation of what we are trying to create. This is how JavaFX script looks like. There is no main, there is no objects, there is no anything. It will be a direct, straightforward. You are directly writing your scene graph into the script. So you will create a stage, directly you will write a scene, and directly you will start creating the nodes.
It's like a DSL.
Yes, it is a DSL, but it looks like a JSON. You will write it something like a JSON script, and you will even create classes. You will write functions and everything. Everything comes into the picture. So after that, what happened today? How JavaFX script, JavaFX 2.0 looks is this one. So you have everything, because the idea, why the script is removed, you have many talk, but what I personally feel is two main points. Number one, we have two languages at the same time in the same platform. We have Java language, plus we have JavaFX script language. So the whole community needs to handle two languages. So if suddenly you are bringing a new concept of annotation into Java language, and people who is working on JavaFX will also demand the same. Why it is there? Why can't I have it? So this is one of the reason we are shifting to use only one language. Another one is JavaFX 1 is tightly coupled with one particular language. JVM languages came into existence, they can't use it because it is written in JavaFX script. So the interoperability between the JVM language plus Java or JavaFX is not possible. So what they did is, let's grab this out, we'll throw this out. It is good, but still, you have learning curve as well. You need to learn another language and you need to do it. So what they have did is, they have removed that one and they have started using Java language itself. And this is how today you will write any JavaFX code. So you will write a main, you will extend the application. Application is nothing but a JavaFX application, and you will write a start, and start will give you the stage, and inside that you will do all your work, and you need to create a scene and take that scene and put it on the stage, and you will write a main and you will launch the application. Okay?
And it looks like Swing only, like.
True.
The earlier version I think was much easier as compared to this one.
Pardon me?
Scripting version was much easier to write.
Very true. Very true. I started JavaFX since it started from 1. I really like the JavaFX script because it gives me the full power. I don't want to think about any these things. After JVM languages came into the picture, I really started hating main, semicolons, lot of things. So this is what the thing is. But still, what is the thing is, we need to bring the one language concept because two concept is good. But what happened in JVM languages is that those people, if you want, take it. If you don't want it, come here. It's up to individual's wish. But I mainly take JVM language as a what I use Java, and JVM language needs to use the demand which for me. It is not like I want to completely shift to one particular language because I love Groovy and I love Scala, and also I love Java language also. So these languages, if I'm working on HTML and something on Java is not giving me, because Java have seen XML as an vampire. We are never happy with XML. We have a very bad history with XML. Lot of APIs we are creating but still not satisfied. Take an example of Groovy. XML is easy. So why don't I use in my code, I use Groovy for doing all these things which is not possible by Java. So sometimes even DSLs. So what these people is, they didn't just change it. They know the demand of these people because they start hating that. So we should not leave the power of JavaFX script. So what they did is, they tried to utilize as much as possible of the real strength of JavaFX script. One of the main thing is, do we all like this way of writing? This part of it? This is the main part what all JVM languages come and say that Java is bad. Yeah?
The builder pattern or something should have been provided.
Yes. Same thing. They started giving you the builders. So if you have both, the whole JavaFX 2.0 today will have both. You will have text and you will have text builders. If you are a traditional follower of Java and say that no, I don't like the builders, you can go for a normal object-based one. If you like it the way of internal DSL, something like that, to use this one, you can go for builders. Okay? Builders are throughout Java. You will have double all the places. And one of the beauty of JavaFX script is binders. What it will do is, if I have a text control in my screen, 4 or 5 places, I need to assign the text. Okay, what we will do? Directly text dot set text of here, set text of there, and set text of here. But what normally they will give you is they will use only one word called bind. This text into this, bind this variable, and that variable wherever you use it, automatically the text field will change the value. So it is a beauty of thing. Another one is on replace. Think that int I am using the I, and if I changes, I need to change 5 different places of thing. So how will you write it? It's not possible. You will go for a function. So what JavaFX script will use to do is, it will give you a thing called on replace. Int I equal to 5 on replace of, there will be a block. Whatever you write it inside the block, it changes. So this is how we are going to bring that one, because we have seen it, we have already tasted the script language, and how can we bring that into JavaFX language. So they brought 3 concepts. Collections is nothing but observers. So I will come one by one. So this is a property. The Java Bean concept is used, but they have changed it later. So yeah, it will be called, all the primitive and objects will have something called properties. So you will create val1, val2, and you will make it a simple integer property of say this, and what you will do is val1 dot add of val2, and it will create, and it will give you a numerical bind object. And wherever you are going to set the val1 or val2 value, and if you call it the sum value will be the sum of val1 plus val2, automatically it will be done for you. Very simple. So another one, we are seeing binders. Binders is again, you are going to bind multiple values into one, and if you want, you can do a small compute of things. Say that you need to do on replace of this, you need to do a lot of things that you can do it here. And when you call a db.get, it will give you the what is the compute statement of binding of val1, val2, val3, and val4. So if you assign to any value, automatically the compute will be done for you. Simple. Another one, the last one is the JavaFX collections. So that is a collection for you, and you are going to send it into FX collections of observable list. That means you are telling that observable concept to say that you need to observe this particular list. Okay. After this, what you are going to do is you are going to capture the on change of it, and you are going to write whatever. So any time the list changes, you will get something called was added, was removed, was updated, that you can easily capture from it. And there is a small thing you need to understand. If you are using the observable list, which we are trying to create it there, if you add your value to that one, this particular on change will be called. But if you use the normal traditional list into it, you will not get any call of it. So you must use the observable, but you still add it. The size will be whatever the size will be the same. But only thing is the listener will not be called when you are adding or doing any manipulation on the list. Yeah, can I do a small demo on this? But can you tell me that where this is useful? Because we have seen the previous properties and binders is normal. But where this concept will be used?
Tabular data?
List or table, anywhere. So it will be easier for you. So these properties again you will see a lot of places. So normally you won't work with dot set text. You will directly go for text properties. You have a lot of things to learn in these concepts, because this is not the end. You have high-level APIs, you have low-level APIs, and many things you can do with these properties and bindings and the listeners observers. So let's do a small Java code. So we will see that how it works. I use NetBeans, because NetBeans is directly coupled with the JavaFX. So lot of things it does. So So this is what the application you will get. This will give you a sample application so that if you run it, you will get a small application. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to create a text. That is not important, but still we are going to have an ellipse. Whenever you are moving your window size, the ellipse will automatically extend. So we are going to use a binder. Is that I'm using builders here. So normally when you are creating a builder, you need to call the create, and then you need to call for a fill. I am filling a color of black, and what else? I am building it. So the create and build are always the same. You need to do it. So I created this, and I'll use anchor pane just for I have it. I'm adding the ellipse into the panel, and I'm adding that panel into scene, and the scene will be added to your stage. And what I'm going to do is, now it is not possible. Now ellipse will be there. Ellipse is not having any x and y or anything now. So I need to assign this. So what I'm going to do is, ellipse dot radius x dot thing dot bind, because this is property. So property is having the bind concept of it, and I'm using scene dot width property. So width property is the complete width of it, so I need to divide it. So divide of 2, and same thing ellipse dot reduce width. Same thing you are going to do it.
So one question over here. Typically when you look at canvas of different platforms,
Mhm.
the old canvas of Java or Android or the web now. They have this concept of this paths. Do you have a similar concept as well? Like you can say line to, move to, circle to.
You can. You have lot of shape. You are talking about shapes, right?
Shapes.
You have lot of shapes.
Because it's important that if you're building a framework on top of all these libraries, somehow you can abstract it out. You only write the code once. Or let's say you define some shapes in XML with this line to, path to, and all these things, and you can render them on the.
You have something called FXML.
FX?
FXML.
FXML. Okay. That has this.
Instead of you create all the code into as a Java code, they directly give you a XML concept of the same like what you are doing.
And one more question over here. It's a very basic question. Now, this is meant for desktop, or can it also run inside?
It can run it on mobile as well. Desktop, it runs on desktop, browser, and devices as well.
So you're showing all the demos on a window, right? It's
Yes.
a Java window.
Yes.
So can I run something in,
Actually, on devices you are talking.
or on web also? Like can it?
Currently, JavaFX 2 is you have the general version only in Windows.
Okay.
So in Mac or Linux, the browser-based won't work.
Okay.
So you can run it only as a JNLB or standalone application.
So it's going to be desktop only. That's what the main thing about JavaFX is. I'm not getting. So the question which maybe it's everybody got it, but I didn't got it. But once you deploy it, it's a desktop application at
Yes.
one point of it.
Yes.
Can I access it through a browser?
Yes, you
Okay.
can. You can. You can directly, even here you do have the option for it in NetBeans. If you go here, you have the option for running in as a standalone or a web start or also in browser.
So WebStack we know it's JNLP, right? In browser, what will
It will add it directly as an applet.
as an applet. So it won't be JavaScript. It will be an applet. Okay.
Yeah, there is a JavaScript will be there. It will be generated, which is going to check for your existing version of your thing, and that will be done like it will be easy.
To need the Java plugin separately in the browser.
True.
Okay. So it's there's no cross compilation to JavaScript. It's always going to
No.
be Java platform.
No, yes.
That's what I want to get.
That is GWT, but that's.
Yeah, that's what I'm comparing that.
Just to add on in that, the Java one itself, we demoed JavaFX applications on an Apple device as well as a Windows Phone and an Android device. So technically, the aim is that you write the JavaFX code and it should run across mobile devices, across desktops. But so far, the release that they have, it works only well on desktops. But on Linux and Mac, I think they have beta releases. But the aim is that JavaFX should, once you write the code, it should run across devices and across
That's great. If that happens, that will be
Another option.
and the new versions of the Java download that you get from the site already have the JavaFX runtime in them. So if you ship application JavaFX application today and somebody downloads has the latest download of Java, it will run on this machine straight up.
7 update 5 is having with Java. So you don't need to ship with any.
So it would work in browsers also in future.
If they have the latest version installed, it will be good because they already have the runtime on the machine.
And we have a very good roadmap as well. If you want to see, you can see I have only April update. So there is a new roadmap for it also. I will do one thing. I will little skip my demo. So it's taking little time. So we'll directly jump into the. So this is done. Later you have something called timelines. Same like your Flash. Flash you do have frames and everything. Where you are going to do the animations with the multiple objects, and you do say one box need to rotate like this and this and this at the same time. Another thing you need to do it. All those things you can do it through Java. So the idea is not the desktop applications is not just a forms. It should have lot of games and everything. So it gives. You have transitions. You can do a lot of transitions like you can fade in, fade out, or rotate an object. You can do any nodes. You can rotate any shapes. You can rotate your images. Whatever is there, you can do play with it. So you still you will have the builders with it, or you can use a normal Java way of writing it. So this is nothing but you are creating a circle, and you are making it as fade transition. So you are directly assigning it. You are giving it a delay of 3 seconds, and from this value to this value, and if you run it, it automatically starts